Hello everyone, I am Professor Sachin Mohan Gagay from Sanjoni KBP Polytechnic, Kopargaon. Welcome all of you in Sanjoni Lecture Management System. Today we are going to start the third unit of Basic Science Chemistry, and the name of the unit is Paint, Varnishes, Insulators, Polymers, Adhesive and Lubricant. Commonly, these are the non-metallic materials. So let us start with the first content, that is your paint. Almost all the human beings seen the paint. The different color of the paints are available in the market, and everyone in their life use the paint, apply the paint. Some of them are also known about the purpose of applying the paint. Some of them are knowing the characteristic of the paint. But my question is that when I ask, can you define the paint? So the answers of everyone is no, we are not able to define the paint. As we know the paint, we apply the paint, we see the paint, we use the paint, we know the application of the paint, we know the purpose of the paint, but we are not able to define the paint. In this lecture, we are going to see what do you mean by the paint actually. What are the constituents of the paint? What is the purpose of applying the paint, and what are the characteristics of the good paint? So let us start with the definition of the paint. So paint is nothing but the mixtures. Okay. So mainly the paint contains the pigment, and it is the mixture of one or more pigment. Means the paint may contain the one pigment or it is more than one, and that pigment is dissolved in non-volatile drying oil. The drying oil is used is maybe your vegetable oil or animal oil. So that's why that paint are said to be oil paint. Why that paint are said to be oil paint? Because the pigments are dissolved in a medium like your oil. So that oil are said to be a non-volatile drying oil. Once we apply the paint on any surface, the paint film start to dry. But that solvent or that oil is a non-volatile, and the other content which is present in a vehicle is your volatile solvent. You should know or able to differentiate between the non-volatile and volatile solvent. Non-volatile in the sense the solvent or the liquid which does not evaporate at lower temperature or at room temperature, whereas the volatile solvent is the solvent which easily evaporate at room temperature or at a lower temperature. For example, non-volatile drying oil, for example vegetable oil, soybean oil is one of the oil which is commonly used in a kitchen for the cooking purpose, is the example of the non-volatile drying oil. Means when soybean oil they are exposed at the room temperature, at that time that oil does not get evaporated. Volatile solvent, for example petrol, when petrol they are exposed, at that time the evaporation of that petrol take place at room temperature or at lower temperature. So volatile solvent is the solvent which evaporate very easily. For example petrol, for example kerosene, etc. So combination of oil and volatile solvent is nothing but the vehicle, and the pigment they are mixed in a or dissolved in a vehicle. So paint is defined as a mechanical dispersion mixture of one or more pigment in a vehicle. Mechanical dispersion. So we are going to dissolve the pigment in this mixture, that is in a vehicle. So dispersion is done by using the machine. So that's why the dispersion are said to be a mechanical dispersion. It is not a manual dispersion. We cannot mix that pigment with the help of our hands. For the dispersion of that pigment, we require the machines, and that's why the dispersion are said to be a mechanical dispersion. So that pigment they are dispersed with the help of machines in a vehicle, which is a combination of oil and solvent. So they are said to be a pigment. So what are the characteristics or the properties of the pigment? The paint which is used are able to resist the atmospheric condition. Now we know that when we apply that paint onto the wall, the interior wall as well as the exterior wall, interior wall they are not too much exposed to the atmospheric condition, but the exterior wall in the sense the wall outside the home, when we apply the paint, at that time what happen, the atmospheric condition in the sense strong sunlight, okay, they are fallen onto the paint film always. The paint film which comes in contact with the dirt, dust, sand, strong wind, rain in a rainy season. So these are the atmospheric conditions. So what happen, your applied paint film should be able to resist these atmospheric conditions. Means when it comes in contact with such type of the atmospheric condition, that film should be a stable one. Means it having the ability to resist all these atmospheric condition, then that paint are said to be a good paint. Then second one, it has a desired consistency. It continually protect the hide surface or the surface on which the paint is applied. It continually protect that hiding surface. So their consistency should be desired. That is the property of your good paint. Third one, it should have a high hiding power. Once we apply the paint on any surface, they are able to cover the lot of surface of that article. Means with a small volume of the paint, they are able to cover the maximum surface area of the article or of the wall, and they are able to hide that surface, So that's why the paint film is opaque in character. So it should be able to cover the whole surface and hide the surface. So hiding power should be very high. Film should be washable. So we are able to wash the paint film. Say for example, the kids, if they are playing inside the home, they are playing the indoor games. At that time what happen, if any dirty ball which contain the dust or any mud, once they are striken on the wall surface, that mud or that dust particle they are stick up to the surface of the applied oil paint. So in that case, with the help of, say for example, the wet cloth or either the sponge which are dipped in a water, and we can wash that paint film very easily. So that film should be a washable. Fifth one, once we apply the paint on the surface, that film should not be crack or shrink on drying. That is simply called as the cracking of the film or the peeling off the film. So this should not be happen to with your paint. So peeling off, then your cracking or the shrinking is not the good characteristic of the paint. And the last one, when it apply on the metallic surface, then that film are able to protect that metal article or metallic surface from the further rusting and the corrosion. So these characteristic is always present in a good paint. So what is the purpose of applying? Why we are going to apply the paint? First of all, we are going to protect our metallic article. So we are going to protect the iron surface or the metal surface, or it may be alloy surface, from corrosion and the rusting. In case of wood, the wooden article also get painted by means of the paint, and the purpose is that they should be protect it from wear and tear. Sometimes what happen, the purpose is only to get our article beautiful appearance, smooth. Once the paint film is applied, now your article or the surface of the applied article becomes smooth and it looks beautiful. Means their appearance is totally changed. Means you can imagine the home without paint and the home with paint. So which home looks better? The home, house, bungalow with color, with paint, it looks to be a beautiful. So appearance is definitely changed. It look like a beauty, and as well as the wall becomes smooth. The next one, fourth one, why we are going to apply the paint? Now your surface becomes waterproof. As we know that the water is not mixed with the oil, so it makes that surface waterproof. Next purpose is that fifth one, why we are going to apply the paint on the wooden article. Say for example the wooden furniture, as the different type of the insects, they are attack on your wooden articles, wood, as well as the fungus. And when the wooden furniture or the article comes in contact with the moisture, then at that time the degradation or the destruction, decaying of your wooden article start. So we are going to protect it from that. So that is the purpose of applying the paint. And the next one, that is the last one, the painted surface reflects the heat and light very easily, means nicely, and that's why we are going to apply the paint film on the surfaces. So this is the purpose of applying the paint film. Okay, next one we are going to see the constituent of the paint. Ingredient or the constituent of the paint, in the sense the film, that is the paint, is made from this ingredient. So mainly the paint consists of pigment, then your medium or a drying oil, thinner, dryer, extenders and plasticizer, along with anti-skinning agent. So one by one we are going to see the ingredient of the paints and their function. Pigment. So pigment is nothing but the solid substances which normally provide the color to the paint. So the color of the paint is due to the pigment, and these pigments are means a natural we can use the natural pigments or as well as the synthetic pigments, and this pigment forms a paint when it is mixed with the drying oil and as well as the volatile solvent called as the thinner. And pigment is the principal constituent or the main constituent of your paint, which form the body of the paint. So that's why the pigment is very important. So what are the example of the pigment? For example, red lead. Itself the name indicate that when red lead is added and when it dissolved in a or mixed with the drying oil, that will gives the red color to the paint. Then chromium oxide is the example of your pigment. Carbon black gives the black color, brown umber gives the brown color, Ferric oxide gives the brown color, reddish brown color. Cobalt blue gives the blue color. Lithophone, these are the example of your pigment. All these are nothing but the solid substances which is mixed with the drying oil and forming the body of the paint. So the main function of your pigment is it provide the color to the paint and makes paint opaque, means opacity. Opacity in the sense, once we apply the paint on any surface, it hide that surface. Okay, so they are said to be a non-transparent. Opacity in the sense non-transparency. Second one, drying oil or the medium. So these are the film forming constituent of the paint, generally the liquid, that is the oil. Oil is a liquid. Generally the vegetable oils and the animal oil is used to dissolve the pigment and it form the film. So this is the main constituent of your oil paint which form the film. For example, the linseed oil, then your tonge oil called as the China wood oil, castor oil, soybean oil, these are the commonly used vegetable oils in a oil paint. What are the function of drying oil? First of all, it provides durability, it increases the lifespan, durability, and waterproofness. So your oil paint becomes waterproof due to the addition of your oil. Second function of your drying oil is that it forms the protective film. So as in the beginning of the slide we studied that this is the main film forming constituent of the paint. So film is formed due to the oil and that film protect the hidden surface or the surface of the article either by oxidation or polymerization reaction. So this film protect the surface either by oxidation. When it comes in contact with the oxygen, the oil undergoes the oxidation, and oil is the example of the polymer, so it undergoes the polymerization reaction and protect the film. Third one, thinner. These are the volatile solvents and which you operate very easily once we apply the paint. As we know that when we apply the paint on any surfaces, the drying of that paint film start, and drying of the paint film is start. The early drying of that paint film is due to the evaporation of the volatile solvent, that is your thinner. It helps to dry the paint film. Common example is that one which is commonly used in a home or at the home is your kerosene. But the other thinners which are available in a market is your methylated spirit, naphtha, benzene, turpentine and the dipentane. Turpentine and the dipentane, they are available in the market. So what is the function of the thinners? It dissolves the film forming materials like your pigments. It reduces the viscosity of the paint. So whatever the paint which is applied on the surface, any surface, that should have the proper viscosity. And to have the proper viscosity, in the sense we are going to reduce the viscosity by adding the thinner. It helps to dry the film by evaporation. Thinner content help to dry the film. Simply when it get evaporated, the remaining film become dry. So it helps. The next one is your dryer. Itself the name indicates that it helps to dry the film. These dryer are the oxygen carrying catalyst. So oxygen is present in an open atmosphere. It carry the oxygen towards the paint film, and dryers are the oxygen carrier catalyst. So oxygen helps to accelerate the drying of film through oxidation. So dryers bring the oxygen, and oxygen means the oil paint with the help of the oxygen undergoes the oxidation and helps to dry the film. Not only by the oxidation, but it undergoes the polymerization reaction as well as the condensation reaction and helps to dry the film. Example of the dryers are nothing but the heavy metallic soaps. For example, the resonates, linolates, tungstate, naphthanates of heavy metals, for example cobalt, manganese, lead and zinc. What are the function of the dryers? As we know that the dryers are the oxygen carrier catalyst, and it help to dry the film by three methods. The one is the oxidation, to carry the oxygen, polymerization, it brings the polymerization, and the condensation reaction. Fifth one, extenders or the fillers. These are the inert material, especially white colored material having a low refractive indices. Generally they are added to reduce the cost of the oil paint, but it also helps to improve the properties of the paint. For example, the talc, that is your powder, gypsum, clay, chalk, asbestos, slate powder, these are the example of the fillers which are added into the oil paint. The function is very simple, to reduce the cost of paint, and the very important function of addition of the fillers, it increase the random arrangement of the pigment particles. So arrangement of pigment particle in the sense the covering area of the pigment or the distribution of the pigment is increased with the addition of the fillers. And the last content of your paint is a plasticizer. It provides the plasticity to the paint. As itself the name indicates that plasticizer provide the plasticity and which help to prevent the cracking. So if you want to prevent the cracking, you are going to add the plasticizer. So plasticizers are mainly solids or either the liquids. If it is liquids, then the liquids of low volatility is used, and if it is a solid, then the low melting solids are used. Generally the triphenyl phosphate group, triphenyl triglycerol, diamyl, phthalate group, dibutyl tributyl, tartrate group, that is your dibutyl tartrate, these are the example of the plasticizer. So what is the function of plasticizer? Why we are going to add the plasticizer? Simply to provide the plasticity or elasticity to the paint. If you carefully see the oil paint, it look like as a plastic or elastic. So the plasticity or the elasticity, this is the nature which is given by the plasticizers. So why we are going to add the plasticizer? So as to provide the plasticity to the paint film. Once the plasticity is provided, at that time that plasticity help to prevent the paint film to undergoes the cracking or peeling or shrinking from the applied paint surface. So that is all about the ingredient. So these are the 6 ingredient: pigment, then your oil, thinner, dryer, plasticizer, these are the then your fillers. These are the 6 ingredient or the constituent of the paint. When it get mixed, then you will get the oil paint. So these are the ingredient and the function of the constituent. So thank you for today's lecture. We will meet in a next lecture. Till then, goodbye.